Okay, looks like we are live. Yay! Welcome everyone to the Maverix Lifestyles Rogue Hangout. It's Alicia Drew here and John Paul Argentino on my side. Hey, taking a drink there. And we have the lovely Sheena Yap Chan all the way from Canada.
Yes.
Who's with us today. And we're going to be talking about something that's new today. We're going to be talking about a thing called Periscope. And there's a lot of buzz in the industry and a lot of buzz on social media right now about what and it's actually a question that myself and John Paul are pretty much asking because we're not very familiar with it. We know what it kind of is, but we don't really know the power of it. Is it? And Sheena's going to be taking the reins today because she's actually really dived into this social media platform. And she's going to share how she is getting mass amounts of traffic through this Periscope thing. So it's going to be really cool, and we're going to be showing you how it's possible for you to get traffic, leads, and sales inside your business as well. Even if you don't have a business, you're going to learn a lot more about this platform, and you can always go ahead and get started by hitting the link below. And I'm pretty sure we're going to find out that this is going to be a really cool way to actually connect with people and build an audience and share value. So just want to share it.
Yeah, it's been out since March, I believe, is when it came out.
Okay.
For 4 months.
Been a few months.
Yeah.
It's been a few months, so so Sheena, if you want to take it away and share with everybody, you know, what you've been doing with Periscope, what it actually is, and how powerful it can be for an online business.
Sure. I mean, you know, it's been out for 4 months, and in 4 months they've already generated 10 million users. So just imagine how powerful that is, right? 10 million users in 4 months. And you know, what's great about Periscope is, you know, it's live streaming. It's real live videos, and you can connect with your audience, right? And I think this is a great way to do that because you want to start building trust with your audience, right? Trust is a huge thing when you can connect with them and, you know, talk to them, and because some people just need like this companionship sometimes, right? They feel like they're alone and they just need kind of like someone to talk to and trust, because like on earlier scopes I was talking about this Korean girl, right? She's a Korean food blogger, and what she does is she cooks and eats for like 4 hours straight in front of her readers or watchers, right? And people do that because they feel like they're having dinner with her because they're missing that companionship, right? She's giving that value of companionship, and because she's doing that, she's banking $9,000 a month. But this is not through Periscope. This is just through it's like a Korean blogging platform. But what I'm trying to say is, sorry?
If you're eating 4 hours a day, you need $9,000 a month just in food.
I know, but the thing is, she's like a stick. I don't even know how she does it, right? But Periscope can be a great platform for you to do whatever it is you want to do. If you want to sell an online course, if you want to, you know, connect people with your blog, if you want to raise funds for a charity. I mean, people are making money just getting tips, you know, on Periscope, right? If they're playing the piano, right, through the live feed, people are giving them tips just by sharing their like email address, like their PayPal email address, right? So a lot of people are using this and thinking outside the box because some of the things you don't know is that there's no clickable links yet on Periscope. But you can like put a link there. You can get creative, you know, have a cardboard paper and write your link, or just show them on your computer. But it's a great way. I believe it's a great way to connect because of the live factor, right? You know, when you show people your lifestyle, you talk to people about your thoughts, and then you share your business and why it's valuable to them, or why it can help them get more leads or traffic and sales, right? I mean, this is a great platform. Like yesterday, I did an impromptu training, right? Like no email blasting, no putting it on Facebook, nothing, right? I just decided last minute to do a training on how to blog from your cell phone, right? Because now you have the ability to blog from a cell phone. And when I did that, I had like over 600 people watch the live viewers, right? Like watch the live training. Now, I can't even get 10 people to live Google Hangout. So to have over 600 people in one sitting listening to me talk, and I'm just showing them what to do on the phone, like that's pure value, right? And I was telling them, like, if you don't have a blog, go here, right? Just point them, just have like strong call to actions, right? And it, like any other social media platform, you're not there spamming your business, right? You're showing them your life. You're talking about your vision, right? You're talking about why you integrate your business into your life, right? You talk about why working from home is such a great feeling, right? When I'm sure someone's watching your scope driving or stuck in traffic and they see you at home in your pajamas, I'm sure they're going to be like, I want to know what she does. I'm going to connect with her, right? And there's so many ways to.
That's what it's called, though. Is it's called a scope?
Yeah, it's called a scope.
All right.
So, I mean, people have been been trying to find ways to think outside the box, right? I mean, I was reading an article, this one guy, right? He was just walking his dog along just along the park, and he created an online course on Udemy, right? If anyone knows what Udemy is, it's like an online university. You can buy online courses. And he's talking about how he created a 7-figure income using Google Ads, right? So he's talking about his story and how he did it. And, he said, now I created a course to show people how to do the same. And if you use this coupon said Periscope coupon, you can get $50 off. And because someone saw his scope and wanted his course, he made a sale off of it. There was no hard selling, right? He's just walking with his dog along the park and telling his story. But imagine how powerful that is, right? I mean, people don't like being sold, but when people learn how to tell a story, when people can see your life, when people can see what the benefits are of working from home, they want the same things. I'm sure if a working mom sees a stay-at-home mom making $5,000 a month just from, being online, they want to join, right? I mean, we have someone in our community who created a 4-figure day from that one app, right? From Periscope. So anything's possible. And you're probably wondering, well, what do I have to do to start doing that? Well, first you gotta, you gotta do this every single day, right? Because Periscope has like this currency, right? They call it hearts, right? When people watch your scope, people tap the hearts, right? And the more hearts you get, the bigger your currency is, the more popular you are, right? Because when you start building it, right, you can get featured on other people's live feeds, and then other people can watch what you're doing. And I've gotten people from like Australia, Netherlands, Israel, Asia watching me, right, all from my phone. And I'm just, most of the time I'm talking nonsense, right? But people like that because they love the interaction part of it, right? I asked my viewers yesterday, it's like, what is it that you love about Periscope, that's different from Facebook, that's different from YouTube, right? Well, first they said video. I'm like, okay, well, if you really like video, then why don't you just go to YouTube? Like, what's different? What makes Periscope different? And it's the interaction. Like, the interaction is what's really the big difference, right? And this is the same reason why people love watching reality TV shows. It's because they love that, the real life story, even though some of them are fake, but they think it's real, right? But Periscope, I can just I can just wear a towel on my head and talk about, something that I learned from a book, and people will watch me, right? And not have to care. And this is a great way if you want to be in broadcasting, if you want to learn how to broadcast, just do Periscopes all day long and you'll get your fear out of the way for that. Like, it helps you grow as a person as well. So, so you have to learn how to bring traffic, right? It's all about the same. Since Periscope is connected to, or was bought by Twitter, you can connect your Twitter account with it, I think, yeah. So you can connect your Twitter account, and every time you do a scope, you can actually post it to your Twitter. And what's great about that is when you post it to Twitter, you can still use hashtags, right? And your links will be clickable on that. So, it's still kind of the same process if you want targeted people, you research on hashtags, right? Because, that's how Twitter works, right? Whatever hashtag you put, people will check out the hashtag and see who's under that hashtag, right? Some people think hashtags are useless, but for a marketer, it's like, it's easy. Like, it's just like, having your cake and eat it too, because you're looking at people who are like a certain thing. Like, if you said vegan, I'm sure when you search for it on Twitter, there's like a ton of people who are vegan and you can target them, right? maybe you have a product that's vegan, right? Or maybe you have an online course that's vegan or something that you can sell or bridge it together, right? So this tool is really like a power for me, in my opinion, is a powerful tool, and I think everyone who is not using this should start using it, just because of the engagement you get, and then you can always find ways, right? You can tell them to connect with you on Facebook. You can tell them to connect with you on a Skype call, right? You can tell them to connect with you on Twitter or on Instagram, or there's so many ways you can have a call to action, right? Sometimes you just gotta think out of the box, and if you're afraid, who cares? Sometimes the mistakes you make can lead you to the right actions, right? Or the dumb stuff that you do can lead you to the right actions. If I just thought about, like, if I overthink every single thing I did or every time I did a scope, I wouldn't be, having 600 people in one sitting, right? And now I get like as much now it's averaging like over 100 viewers every time I put a scope on, and it's crazy. I don't even have that many followers yet. I only have like 350 followers, so that's huge, right? Like that's a big wake up call, and I think live streaming apps are going to be here to stay for a while because there's one Meerkat. That's not really the functions on that isn't as great as Periscope, but Facebook is starting to do one, right? It's called Facebook Mentions, but right now it's only for like stars, or if you have like the blue check mark on your Facebook page, then you can start using it. But other than that, it's not even out for the whole public. It's only out for certain people. It's only out for certain people, like celebrities or people with big influences like Gary Vaynerchuk or Grant Cardone. So it's a great way. Like we have one lady. She just talks about her scope, and then she tells people to connect with her on Facebook, and they chit chat and stuff, and then she closes them on Facebook. I mean, like it's such a simple process, and I feel like it's a lot easier when people can get to know you through a scope, when they can feel that you're genuine, that you're honest, that you're not faking it. Then they're more inclined to pull out their credit card and buy from you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if there's like a certain strategy that you want me to talk about, or
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what do you think is the biggest difference between a Google Hangout and Periscope? Like, what makes Periscope, I don't know, I guess it seems to be a lot more powerful to get more people watching you live than a Google Hangout like we're on right now. Why do you think that is?
I think it's because of the live factor, and how you interact with your audience is such a big difference, right? When I'm on a scope, I do my best to call out every person who joins my scope. Even if I can't pronounce their name properly, I'll do my best to do it. I'll say hi. I ask them where they're from. I do Q&As with them, and I'm interested in them versus me, right? It's because you have to realize when you're marketing, it's always what's in it for them, right? Not what's in it. Like, they're thinking what's in it for me every time you're talking, every time you're marketing. So you have to think of what will this person get out of the scope when I turn it on, or whatever your intentions are, right? And yeah, like I think that big thing is the interaction, because you can't really interact on a Google Hangout, right? Like it's like we have to go to another page to interact with them, versus like this one's all in one spot. You can see all the comments. Then the audience can also interact with each other. So it's like a big party on your phone, pretty much, right? So I think
the hearts that people had. I actually have the Periscope app. I've actually gone on it, and like I'll get the notifications where it'll say, like, I'm just going to say you, for example. It'll say like Sheena Yap Chan wants you to watch so and so's Periscope feed or whatever, and it's like, now that links over, like you can just mention somebody else's stuff as well too and get it shared that way. Is that how that works?
On Periscope, there's two ways to share it, right? You can share it on Twitter, and you can share it with your followers. So maybe so maybe someone you're following wanted to is sharing it with you, right? And that makes a big difference when you tell them to share it with their followers and share it on Twitter. That brings in more people to watch it. More and more people watch it, right? Like that's what happened when I had over 600 people. Was that people just kept on sharing it with their followers, and people were just jumping in and out, wondering what's going on.
You share it with your friend, and you're like, hey, you gotta jump on this real fast. This is what I'm going to be doing for the next 20 minutes. Like, hop on here real quick. So
Yeah.
people just come in just like a flood, just one after another.
Yeah, because like
Hard
so
feed.
you come in and you shared it, and then Alicia got your notification, and then she shared it with someone else, and then that person shared it with someone else, and on and on and on, right? So like it makes this big viral audience that you have.
Yeah, because
Imagine-
I've never really seen that many people take a Google Hangout and be like, bro, you got to go get on this Google Hangout right now. Like, I've never seen that.
Some people use their phone to record the Google Hangout, so
Mm-hmm.
you never know. But, some people just get creative. Some people, points them to it's a Skype call, like a group Skype call. Some people just connect with them on Facebook. And some of them just, have a cardboard paper with like a link. They're like, just go here, right?
Yep.
Like some people overthink it, but it's a simple process, right? Or they just take their phone and like go to the link and say, hey, go here, right? Like some people overthink like, how am I going to do it? Just show them the link. If they really want it, they're going to find a way to get what you want, what you have to offer.
When Periscope first came out, there was I forget what company it was, but they were doing they wanted to experiment with their customer service aspect of it. So what they did was they had this Periscope feed, and I didn't know what it was, and I just clicked on it, and I was like, oh, this is actually pretty neat. They're actually engaging with anybody that basically had complaints or anything. They were going through and actually doing live, customer interaction with it, and they said, we're also going to be giving away 2 iPads at the end of this, so please be present to win. And that's what they did, is they just gave one away live right there. They're like, oh, and the winner is, and they just scrolled up and put, with all the feeds and like, boop, this is the winner.
And that also keeps people on the feed as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it was cool, but they got 2 things out of it. Number one, they actually got all the feedback from live customers, which is great, because having that interaction that's honest and open, that's, you're using the ethical bribe of the iPad, but they also got they didn't have to spend the money on going out there and just putting a huge survey together, doing all that stuff. They just nipped it right in the butt in one shot, And they're like, oh, yeah, hey, here, thanks, have an iPad. Can't beat that,
Yeah, and then it builds trust, right? Well, the biggest thing about it is it builds trust. Like people, I have people come, like when I'm on it, they're always like, I like you, I'll follow you because I trust you. And when you can like have someone trust you, I mean, that's when you can, offer them products that will help them, right? Get them to buy things that will actually, make their life a little bit better, right? Whether it's an online business system or a blogging platform that helps them blog faster. Like if you click the link below, you can get one today. It's just such a power. Like it's so I don't know. For me, it's a powerful tool. And I'm not sure, you might know Joanne Pham.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So she started an all women support group on just helping women, get out of that fear of Periscope. So she calls it the Peri Girls, and she went from 0 to like 5,000 members in like I think a month or something.
Wow.
Right? Yeah, and because she's like 10 times like higher than I am. Like she has like over like 3 million hearts, and they're having this first Periscope summit, I think in New York, and she'll be speaking on stage.
Oh,
right?
wow.
Yeah, and people are like going to her asking like, hey, can we like advertise with you, or can you mention our brand, and things like that. When you get that popular, people are going to be seeking you, maybe wanting you to promote their products, and who knows, maybe they'll pay you something, or you get something out of it, but you create a relationship with someone of influence, right? And people don't realize that. Like one of our teammates, she's from Switzerland, I think, and she was doing a scope earlier, and she said like a Dutch broadcaster decided to watch her scope. So imagine if you really wanted to be a broadcaster and you got searched, or someone saw you on a scope and they want to like connect with you, and maybe it could be like how you get discovered on YouTube, kind of, right? It's the same thing. So yeah, sorry. I lost my train of thought.
No, it's a good point, because you don't know who else is going to be out there watching, what their field is, and all of a sudden now you're becoming the influencer to the media, you never know.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, when you show people like places you've been to, like the beaches, or, or maybe you're in Vegas, you show them the casino, or as long as you don't get caught. People love to see like different parts of the world they've never been to, right? They want to see your lifestyle. They want to share. They want to know what you think. They want to know what you do. Like people keep on asking me, it's like, what is it that you do? What do you do? What do you do? Right? I'm not telling them, hey, you should come look at my offer. Hey, you should come look at my offer. Hey, you should come look at my offer. Right? I talk about things like self-development, or I just chit chat with them, or I tell them what my vision's all about and why I'm so passionate about working from home and why I think it's a better way. Right? I'm not telling them come buy my offer because it's the best thing since sliced bread, even though I think it is. I just share what I have here. I share my life. I tell them it's so it's really traffic right here right now. From the bedroom to the bathroom. Just kidding. And people just laugh.
Yeah, so you get a follower. It's like all of a sudden you get a follower, but they have no idea what kind of hilarity they're in for.
Yeah, no, it's funny. I say them, they all just laugh.
What's the Perry go round? I gotta ask.
Oh, so if you want like if you want more followers and more engagement, so a lot of people do this, right? You get like 3 or 4 people. So it's like a merry-go-round, right? You do like a scope, right? You talk about what you do and why you're doing this, and then you have like 5 minutes to like give a tip or 2 about something, and then once that other person's ready to broadcast, you tell them to head over to the next person. And then when he's done, they go on to the next person and the next person. But it builds them more engagement, more hearts, more followers, more traction, more viral like sustainability, because they know who that person is. Especially when you have people of influence, right? It's a lot easier to build up that following, right? And then now there's so many different apps that connect with Periscope to make things easier. Because with Periscope, your videos are only up for 24 hours and it's gone. But now there's an app that allows you to keep them, right? And then you can take that. They have an embed code, and you can post it on your website. You can post it on your blog, right? Mm-hmm. There's another one where you do a Periscope, and then you connect people to a chat box where 4 of you can chat at the same time. So it's kind of like Periscope for chat, right? And I saw one guy yesterday. He got to be in the same like chat box as Grant Cardone. So imagine that kind of social proof, right? It's like, wow, you get to be like side by side with this guy. Well, not like beside him, but on a computer, it's side by side. But imagine like what would happen if you sent something to your list, like, hey, look who I'm associated with, right? Like, there's a reason why he's associated with me, because I give value, right? I help people out, and he sees that, right? And if you want to click the link below and join with me, like, now's the time. So it just brings a lot of social proof as well. So I just personally like it. I think it's a great app. It's a little addicting sometimes, but it really does help you build trust. It helps you build a following. It's a great way to interact with your audience, and you can talk about anything, right? You don't have to be anybody else but yourself, and it's a great, and marketing's all about being yourself, right? It's all about being yourself, because we see so many people out there who are just faking it, or there's somebody, in when you see them on emails and broadcast on videos, but they're a totally different person outside of that, right? Like, people want to see the real you. People want to know who you really are, what you're all about, and when they can see that and feel it, and even though it's just through a phone app, they can feel it. Like, they can feel that you're being real, you're being genuine, you have value to offer, and that they're willing to do or connect with you in some way, shape, or form, whether it's to buy your product, whether you tell them to click the link below and get it, start building your life, whatever it is, they're going to be more willing to come to you versus you chasing them, right? Because we don't want to chase people around. We don't want to be like doing home parties, right? I mean, if you're in network marketing, I would rather use the Periscope app than freaking calling the phones every day. I would only call them if they were interested, if they're ready to buy, right? Instead of, pounding the phones 8 hours a day, right? I would rather be, doing an app, showing people, look what we're doing right now. Like, this is why I joined this business. People are making money or changing lives, versus like going to the mall and like giving samples of juice out to see if they'll like it and join your business. Right? You have to learn how to work smart versus working hard. And you know, the internet is a great way to do that. And this one app alone, I think will blow up really big. This is why, you know, I've been building it, you know, a lot is because by the time 4 months from now, when it gets even bigger, I mean, I'm ahead of the game. And you guys can start now, right? Like whoever's watching, start today. Who cares? Just put your first scope up, right? If you're a woman, I mean, you can join the support group that I've been in, which is the Perry Girls. Just go to perrygirls.com. And it's a free community. You get tips and tricks. They give you assignments on what to talk about. It makes periscoping fun and easy, and it'll help you just build your confidence up in a huge way.
Yeah, I was going to touch on that because often people have difficulty and they're quite uncomfortable with recording videos in general. But if you can get yourself on a scope and you know that it's live and you can, like what you were saying, Sheena, do that every single day and interact with a live audience, how well are you going to be able to, you know, present yourself on camera and be comfortable with that? I mean, it almost shortcuts the game in regards to video recording in a way, because it seems so powerful and it kind of just throws you out there because you know that there's people watching. You know, when we record a video at home, we know we can go back and do it again or, you know, edit it. But this, it's like, it's just out there. So I think it's really great by the sounds of it to get people out there filming themselves and just being real.
Yeah, I mean, and I think every woman should be using it. Like, for me, women are just prettier. Sorry, John.
It's all right. Now, you can actually, can you set it up to where on your Periscope, when you send it out, so when you first set it up, can you set it up to where it's only out to the public, or can you set it up to where it's like only your followers that you have? Or
yeah, there's private and public settings. But I mean, if you're building something like anything, you want it out for the world. You want people to see. You know, the more people, the merrier.
But
obviously,
you could actually set up private though if you wanted to. Like if you
there's private, yeah, there's a private option if you wanted to. But you know, there are some people out there who are going to be mean, and like in any other social forms of social media, there's always the great block button, right?
Yeah.
Just block out the haters. That's what I do. You know, I got some. I think it was yesterday or the day before, some guy just like had the most racist comment in the world about black people. And I was like, okay, buddy, I'm going to block you because that's unnecessary, right? You just call them out and block them. And people love that when you block someone who's being a douchebag, because it's like, we don't need that kind of stuff, right? I tell them, you know, these scopes are for fun, bring good energy because there's too much crap in the world out there. It's time we start, you know, bringing out good stuff. And people love that kind of stuff. When you can inspire them, when you can teach them something, when you can show them what's possible, they're going to keep on coming to you more and more and more. Like, seriously, they're going to start trusting you. They're going to start loving you. And, you know, it can go, you just never know where this app can take you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it sounds so powerful. The way that they have set up the viral sustainability, you know, aspect of it. Who actually created Periscope? Who's behind it?
I saw an article. It was a guy, like he sold it to Twitter, and that's all I know.
Yeah, I just thought, oh, who actually created that? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No, I was going to tell people, you know, it still takes, you know, time to, like, with anything, you have to build it. You have to be consistent at it, right? If you're not going to have the engagement that you want. Like, if with any other social media, with any social media platform you're using, you got to build it, right? You got to build a following, right? Like, you know, Neil Patel, if you don't know him, he's like, you know, this like crazy blogger who gets like 800,000 people a month to his website, right? But when he first started, he started with nothing, right? And you know what his basic thing was to get that many visitors was to really build a following. He built a big following on like Twitter and Facebook, right? And you know, because he kept on building that following and people liked what he had to offer in his blog, more people kept on going, and then you know, those people referred more people, and it's just the same thing, right? It's the same concept. You just got to build it, right? If you keep building it, the people will come.
Yeah, definitely. So what are some of the strategies that you've used to create the results that you have? I mean, I know you've had a ton of people following you, you know, and you've had some awesome results. So what are some of the things that I'm pretty sure that you started from nothing and you built it up? Yeah.
Yeah, I started with nothing. I started like being scared of like because the live aspect is totally different from like cutting a YouTube video, right? Like you said, if we fuck up, like we can just redo it, right? But here, like you can't, right? It's just like, uh-oh, I'm live.
Mm-hmm.
So some of the things we do is I associate myself in support groups like the Perry Girls, right? They have because they teach you how to like come up with topics. You know, we syndicate each other's content on Periscope by giving out hearts. What John mentioned about merry-go-rounds, that's a great way to build your account fast, right? To have more followers and engagement and hearts right away. And it's really a lot of test and error. What I think is the most important is the title of your scope, right? Kind of like when you're writing email, the most important thing is your title to get people to open or to get people to watch your stuff, right? You know, hashtags, of course, right? And your picture, right? Because when you first click when you first click to start the broadcast, it points out to like the opposite way, right? It won't face you. You have to like click it first in order to face you. So you got to have a picture that's you know, eye-catching. If it's just like your ceiling, who's gonna watch that, right? But if you have a picture of like the beach or like you with a friend or you know just something that gets them to open your scope, you know, that makes a big difference. So it's always, you know, the title and the image.
Yeah, it's like how when people request you on Facebook and, you know, there's either no profile picture at all or it's not a picture of them. It's just a something. And
yeah, like a cat or something.
Yeah, and it's like,
It's
you
a
know,
dolphin.
yeah, it's like,
yeah.
That's not you. Like, how do I, you know, it's a instant disconnect when you can't actually see an image of the person that's eye-catching to begin with. So, yeah, that's a really great point that you bring up that can be used in everything pretty much as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's really just, playing around with that, testing, measuring, seeing what works and what doesn't work, right? You know,
I thought I broke something the first time I used Periscope because when I first got the app, I was like, all right, what is this? All right, let's check it out. And I just see all these hearts just going up the whole side of the screen. And I'm like, what the hell is this? And then I touched the screen. I was like, well, what do I do? Like, where do I chat with anybody? Like, what do I do? And then I touched the screen, and there goes this little heart. And I'm like, what did I just do? Like,
oh.
And I'm like, was that a like button? What did I, like, what am I loving? What am I doing right now? And I didn't know. So then I hit the screen again. I'm like, well, no, stop it. And then it just starts going even crazier. So by the time I'm done, I was like playing an old Nintendo game, just like hitting the screen crazy. Like, I was like, oh, man. And it's just a flood of all these crazy hearts. And, you know, the first time I messed with it, too, was right after it was right after the big announcement in San Francisco about, like, well, everybody in San Francisco was celebrating the big announcement from the Supreme Court ruling. So there I am, sending off all these crazy hearts. When in the background, I'm thinking, oh, God, it's gay pride going crazy. Like, what am I doing? Like, I didn't know what I was like. Oh, I just shut my iPad. I was like, all right, I'm done. So I just shut it. And then I went back to it later on. And then the next time I went back to Periscope, I was just trying to, like, get the feel of, well, what the hell is it? Like, how are people using it? Like, how are they using it just in their life? And it was, it said it was some influential person that was like an influencer, and it was this one girl, and she was with her other girlfriend, and they were trying to race to a donut store before it closed to get a Krispy Kreme. I was like, that's interesting. And people were like, just run the red light, get out of the car and run. They're telling them like what to do to try to beat it, and I was like, okay, I get it's interesting just to see how people are wanting that live interaction, but how you were saying, like, they're making it just more personal. Mm-hmm. So I thought that it was kind of interesting, you know, that you can just, it's not all business all the time. It's actually being more personal with people. And that's where I started really seeing, like, okay, you know, I mean, I saw our one friend Lawrence, who was like, what to eat for dinner. And it was like a 12 a.m. or 12 a.m. pantry raid or something, like what to eat for like something like midnight pantry run or something crazy. And yeah, you know, of course he walks into his pantry and it's like an apartment in there.
Well, yeah, he just moved into his newly built house, so. But you know, even some people, apparently some of the top like watched Periscopes is that people show what's inside their fridge. I don't know. Apparently it's like people want to know what's in your fridge.
Yeah, people just want to be entertained, don't they?
Well, yeah, and, you know, that's still a value that you.
The internet's based on cats, you know, so.
Yeah. that's still a value that you can give to people when you can, you know, entertain them, make them laugh. Like that's a big thing, right? People love, you know, to just be happy and laugh at things, and you know, when you can make people laugh, like it, you know, they'll trust you more, right? They'll like, you know, she's cool, don't worry about her, right? Versus like you always being negative and, you know, being crabby and stuff. Nobody wants like a negative Nancy. People like to have fun. People want to have a good time. And, you know, when you can integrate your business and your life together by showing them through the phone, right? Or if you have an iPad, it works on the iPad as well.
Yeah, it's the same app for the phone, just on the iPad. There's nothing different.
Yeah, it's the same. But, you know, when you can integrate your business and your life together, we can show them, you know, this is what happens on a Monday. I'm still in my pajamas at 11 a.m. and I love working from home, right? And when somebody sees that, they're probably like, well, I want to learn how she works from home, right? You know, it's things like that, right? You're showing them what you're about. You're showing them your life. You're showing them what's possible. And when they can believe, you know, some people need to see it before they believe it, right? Mm-hmm. And that's how most people are programmed. But see, as an entrepreneur, you already see it before we already believe it before we can see it, right? But some people still need to see it. So that's why you got to show them, like, you know, 12 p.m. we're at the movies on a Wednesday afternoon. It's dead here, right? Or it's like 2 p.m. on a Thursday. I'm at Costco. I mean, people would love to like go to Costco on a Thursday afternoon because like the weekend's like a madhouse.
Yeah, that's like, oh, here I am at the gym and it's empty because everyone's at work. You know?
Yeah. You know, when you show them things like that and then tell them, like, listen, you can do this, right? I'm nobody special. I started with nothing. We have a team that can help you, you know, do the same thing. We're here for you, right? All you need to do is connect with me or click the link in the bottom. But with Periscope, there's no clickable link, so you just got to get creative. You can write a piece of paper and say, here, go to this link and check it out, how you can make a full-time income using Periscope. You know, like, it's, you know, people overcomplicate it, and sometimes you just got to keep it simple, like super simple that anyone can understand. I'm sure people want to learn how to create money, make a full-time income just using the app, right? Because it's possible. I've already seen it. There's proof. One lady in our community made a $3,000 commission from this app. Most people can't even, you know, most people would like to make that in a month. Try making that a day from this one app, right? From this thing, from your phone. Finally making money from your mobile phone, right? If it's possible for one person, it's possible for anybody. So it's I just think it's such a powerful tool. Like, it's just, you know, when people can learn how to market properly on it, it's game over.
Yeah, it's so powerful, and it's still in its infancy. That's what's so cool about it. I mean, can you imagine, you know, what people are going to be doing with this app like in a year's time? You know, that's what's really exciting about it. I mean, I don't even have a Periscope yet. I haven't even set anything up, so I'm completely brand new to it, but I'll be doing that now. Definitely.
Yeah. I'm not saying solely focus on that, but it's a great way to integrate something, like, you know, integrate that into your marketing. Even if you just do one scope a day, that'll last you for like 10 minutes, right? It's better than doing nothing, right? And you can still send it to your list if you wanted to. You could be like, hey, I just did this, right? Or you can say, hey, I'm going to do a scope right now. Come watch me here, right? People want to see that, right? Video is powerful, but video with interaction is just even, like, you're just 10xing the power of that, right? Your marketing just becomes better, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to pretend to be anybody. You're just yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the fact that you can do it all from your phone, it's just so easy for people to just whip the phone out and check it out. or make a scope. It's so simple.
Yeah.
You know, it's so powerful.
There's no real planning to it, really.
Yeah. I think some people probably might overthink it because they know they're live. So they think they have to be perfect because they don't want to screw up. So they plan it. But I mean, I'm an overthinker in most things. So it would probably be a challenge for me because I'm such a perfectionist with everything. It plagues me sometimes, drives me crazy. But, I think it'd be great for people like myself that have that kind of quality, just kind of get out there and do it,
I always think of like the weird stuff that can happen. So I quickly Google search, crazy stuff that's already happened on Periscope. And I was like, yep, that's about the inevitable that was going to happen.
Well,
you're always going to get that with anything.
Yeah, in anything, you're going to get that. I mean, I don't think about it, so really, I hardly get, like, crazy stuff. I'll get, like, the douchey comments once in a while, and I just block them, right? It doesn't bother me, right? I have friends who are always so paranoid about the worst things that can happen in social media, and I'm just like, I don't even think about it. Like, if I think about it, of course I'm going to attract it. If I don't think about it, it's not going to come, right? Like,
that's it.
It's all in your thinking. Like, seriously, some people like think like the worst things, right? And that's why maybe if you're watching this, you're stuck at where you are because you have like the stinking thinking that's sucking up your life, and you have to start reprogramming your brain. You have to start reprogramming it by reading every day, listening to audio, situating yourself with good people like like me, Alicia, and John Paul. Like we're all together because we belong to a community that helps people out. And obviously, if you want more info, you can click the link below. But these are some of the things that you need to do, or else you're going to be stuck at where you are, right? Yep. So that's what I think. And to be honest, I was just as scared too, Alicia. I was scared that it was live. I might not have anything to say. Nobody's going to listen to me. I might not have people listening to my scope. I had all kinds of like crazy notions in my head because we still face these things, right? I just said, you know what? I'm just going to do it, right? And, I screw up all the time, right? I have brain farts when I do scopes. But people are okay with it because they know you're not perfect. And when people can see that you're not perfect and you make mistakes, it's even better, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's more real.
Yeah, nobody's perfect, and there's no such thing as perfection.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's like one of my favorite things to do when I go online sometimes is actually watch like the news bloopers, like when people just screw up on the news and like totally ruin their careers.
It's so
I love
funny.
it because I'm like, oh, they just bombed so hard, Because
Yeah.
it's like we're human beings. We bombed on stuff every day. We just keep going,
Mm-hmm.
And that's why people watch stuff is to be entertained or to learn or, that's
have the companionship that they're missing. I don't know. I think some people use that app as a companion. Like, they just feel like they need someone to talk to.
Yeah, it's almost like, there's two versions of the internet. There was the internet that was before Facebook like button, and then there's the internet after the Facebook like button. And now we're starting to see everything after the Facebook like button come out.
Yeah.
It's like everything is now, like, this is going to be the new version of everything. It's just starting to go into that more live, personal format, and just being more, it's just our BS meters are go off too easy. When we smell bullshit, we call bullshit. We're like, no, bullshit. And it's like no one wants that fakeness out of stuff anymore. We don't. That's why we'll go to a movie if we want to see something totally fake and just off the rails. Everything else though is like you said, companionship. It's having that interaction with people is what it's about. But at the same time, if you're faking it, you're going to get called out on it real fast, really quick. It's going to happen.
Yeah, and people can smell it even when you're on a live video.
Yep.
Oh yeah, definitely. What's the biggest amount of followers that you've had, like, on one scope?
Over 600 people, like 663, I think.
Wow. And how did that make you feel when you saw like that many people on it?
I was in total shock because, like I said before, I couldn't even get 10 people to a live Google Hangout. So, So when I saw I can get over 600 people in one sitting, listen to me talking, to doing a training, I mean, that's powerful. It wasn't planned. It was very done last minute. Didn't get to email a list. Didn't get to post it on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or Tumblr. It was just one app, one platform, just connected to a Twitter, and that was it, right? That was it. And my thing is just the title. The title that I had was, you know, I just had like Asian girl learns this super cool trick on how to blog from your phone.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it.
Yeah.
And a couple of hashtags.
And so have you had any leads coming in as well from these followers? Have you given links to people?
Yeah, I've had leads come in, because you can still put your link, but it's not clickable, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can tell them, hey, if you want to learn how to do this and that, feel free to just check my website.
Yeah, and if someone really wants to check something out, they're going to grab that link. They're going to grab a pen and paper. They're going to grab whatever and get that down and go straight there.
And you don't want everybody in your business anyways, right? You want people who are willing to work, who are willing to do whatever it takes, who are really fueled by their dreams and their vision, right? You don't want people who are sitting on the couch, eating Doritos all day, complaining about life, because those people are going to be stuck, right?
Huh? Doritos are so good. I hardly ever eat Doritos, but I just heard, I was like, oh, Doritos. I hardly ever have them, but that's what happens when I hear about them. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those things we're always thinking about who we want to attract in our business, in our life, wherever it may be, but we want to also make sure that we're not attracting the wrong type of person for our business as well. So as much as we want to attract people, we want to unattract the people that we don't want to be involved with, the negative people, the haters, those types of people. So, it's a lot of people don't think of it in that way. We don't want everybody within our business. As we say, if you're marketing to everyone, you're marketing to nobody.
Yeah. I mean, like some people maybe just want all the Jerry Springers in the world. I would not want any of them, like, I want people who are willing to do whatever it takes to fight for their dreams, who are always, always learning, even though, you're not always there for them, right? I want someone who's self-reliant, who's independent, who can still work with a team, whose ego is not in the way, right? I mean, those are the type of people you want in your business. Someone who is, willing to do whatever it takes. Someone who wants to be in business for a reason, to have a better life, right? They're doing this all to live a better life. And we have so much proof in our community that, this hangout would probably last for till next Tuesday because we have so many success stories.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And this is just another social media platform that we can all utilize within our community, within our business, to gain the right type of traffic and leads and sales for our business as well. So, and as I said, who knows where it's going to be in a year's time? It's really explosing right now. Yeah, it's really exciting.
It's just going to keep getting bigger. Anybody that has that big influence, or they're really going to start putting it out there. But it's also, I'm interested to see the person who's going to really start from nothing, like yourself, Sheena, just start small and just build it huge. But what's great though is like how you said, you're only going to get those people that want to take action, that actually will join you and take action. You're only going to get certain people that are going to actually, if you say, hey, go to wherever online, check this out right now. We're also doing this over here. You're only going to get serious people that are actually going to do that. You're only going to get those people that want to be there doing it. You're not going to be getting all the crap noise of the internet coming in, with the fake leads and just BS people that are never going to take action. You'll get real action takers on the fly. So I think it's really cool because in the terms of, direct response, I think it's massive. It's just another format for direct response, which is going to be really cool.
Yeah. Attracting the serious people, building a connection with those people.
Yeah, well,
it's really powerful.
Here's what I've kind of learned is some people naturally just need led. Like people want to be led somewhere. They want. I always use the old analogy. If you could draw a fake window on a wall, but if you put a line on the ground, people will actually line up on that line to look through a fake window. People will do weird stuff for no reason. It's just human nature, and people generally want to be led. So if you can actually lead people somewhere in an ethical way and guide them along towards, further success or truly help people, I think it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's just going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Like how, people like Gary Vaynerchuk and Grant Cardone and stuff that they're already doing with it, it's it's off the chain. It's great
to be able to give that live value at the drop of a hat from your phone. It's just, yeah. I mean, the guy that invented this, that created this, you know,
probably laughing all the way to the bank.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
very,
and
very cool.
And you know, people like being told what to do. You know, if you tell them, click the link below, pull out your credit card, fill out the form, get started. You know, they just need some type of action, right? Like some step-by-step actions. Because people love anything that's step-by-step, right? When you tell them, here's your 3-step way to get started. Click the link below, pull out your credit card, fill out the form, get started today, right? You know, that's easy to remember, and most people follow it, right? You know, you just have, you know, you have to learn how to have call to actions. You got to be, you know, courageous enough to say, hey, I got something here that I'm sharing with you because I know it will change your life. Because if I didn't share it with you, then I'm doing a disservice to you know, society and to your life, because you're here hurting, and here's a solution that can help you get out of that, and yet I'm not sharing it with you. I'm being selfish, right? We're here because we want to teach you how to build a business the right way, right? Maybe if you're in network marketing and you're tired of, you know, pounding the phones or prospecting at the mall, here you go, right? Here's a solution that can help you do that. Maybe you're a brick and mortar business who's still doing traditional marketing and it's just not working anymore. Here's another solution to build an online presence for your business, right? You know, maybe you want to learn how to make your own products, or you want to learn how to, you know, market on a certain strategy or something. We have the solutions for that now, right? You know, we have, maybe you don't know how to set up an online business to begin with. We have a solution for that as well. There's a solution for everything.
Yeah, there definitely is. And all people have to do is hit that button below and get started. You know, as we mentioned, there are so many awesome, powerful ways to build, you know, your own online business within our community. And, you know, this new Periscope thing is just one of so many different ways and strategies and ideas and concepts and principles that we're going to teach you when you get inside, when you hit that button below. You know, reach out to us. We're here, we're real, we're human. It may not be Periscope right now. This may be a Google Hangout, but we're still live, or people who are watching the replay.
I actually did a Periscope behind the scenes while we were doing that from the sides. I was like, let's see how easy it actually is. And I actually did one for a couple of minutes there. You know? So that's how easy it was. You could actually do it right there, you know. And we've had I had someone tell me one time, you know, that they just don't want to be pitched to. You know, they're like, oh man, I'm just sick and tired of getting pitched to. And I responded to him with, you know, hey man, look, I'm a friend of yours. And I said, you and I are friends, right? You know, like we've been pals for a while. And he's like, yeah, man, absolutely. And I was like, well, and I trust you and you trust me, correct? He goes, yeah. And I said, you know, would I ever do anything that would actually harm you, or would I tell you to do something that could actually hurt you in any way? He's like, well, no, man, we're friends. And I was like, exactly. And I said, so if I didn't tell you about something and you found out about it later on and it was something that I could have helped you with by giving you this information, you know, how would you feel later on if I wouldn't have told you about something? He's like, oh, I'd hate it. And I was like, exactly. I was like, so if I didn't tell you about something or I didn't show you this, it would be doing you a disservice by me not telling you about something that could really help you out, you know? And that's why the community that we're involved with, that's why, you know, at the end of a lot of our hangouts, we'll say, hey, you know, we're friendly. You know, we have a very friendly community. We reach out to everybody. You know, we help everybody out as much as we can. We offer tons of training and resources. Really, it's an open book at that point. Once you have the tools, you can take it as far as you want, but it's up to you to take the ball and run with it and then score the shot. You know, it's up to you to do it. You know, and we're here to say, hey, we have the information for you. Click the button below. Get started with us today. You know, and you know, like what there is in there as well. There's also, I don't even know what the money back guarantee is anymore. What we have in there.
14 days.
Is it 14 days? Yeah, there's a see. I know there's a guarantee in there, but I've never had anybody use it. So there's a 14-day money back guarantee in there as well. So even if you click the link below, you know, you can get started with this right now. There's really nothing else that you really have. You have more to lose than you realize by
Mhm.
not doing it.
Zero risk of getting screwed over. That's how I like to put it.
That's one way to put it. Zero risk of risk.
Whisk.
Yeah, zero risk.
Zero risk of getting screwed over. But if you don't hit the button below, you will never know. And that to me is the worst feeling, not knowing what could have been, what could have happened if I made a decision.
Well, the worst is, like in the military, we were always trained, the worst decision is making no decision.
Mhm.
That's ultimately, that's immediate failure. By making no decision, that's the worst decision you can make because you had to decide not to do anything.
That's
Yeah.
right.
You had to decide to do shit. Like, and say, oh, I'm cool with doing nothing.
Yeah, especially when you're aware of your problem and you have the solution and you don't act upon it, that's the worst thing,
Mhm.
right? When people ask you, why are you doing this? Just tell them, why not? Why not fight for my dreams? Why not be able to live the life that I want? Why not be able to travel the world? Why not be able to stay at home with my kids 24/7? You know, like we had someone in our community who recently just quit his job on Friday because he finally got to create the income that he wants because he's always wanted to stay at home with his 2 little girls. You know, it was a picture of him. Finally, it's the last time I'm going to say goodbye to my girls because, you know, now he gets to wake up and see them every day and never have to worry about traffic or traveling and office bullshit, right? Because he had such a big dream, right? It's such a big why, and now he's helping people do the same thing, right? So what if this is you watching this video, want the same things, right? Wouldn't it be worth clicking that button below? I mean, don't you think it'd be worth just clicking that button and getting started today?
Yeah. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? You know, I love hearing those types of stories in our community because, you know, that's what people want more than anything. They want their time back. It's our most valuable asset, and people want their time back. They want their freedom. You know, they want to spend time with their family, their friends, their kids. You know, they don't want to have to commute back and forth and spend day in, day out at a job that they most likely don't like. And within our community, we're not telling you to quit your job, but you can build this business part-time and eventually get to that point. And that's what's really, really awesome to hear stories like that. And that's what we're all about here. So, I mean, on that note, Sheena, we want to thank you for sharing all that awesome scope stuff with everybody today.
Scope stuff.
So call it scope stuff.
I hope whoever's watching this just takes action on it because it'll be useless if you don't take, you know, massive action.
Yep, that's right. I mean, I've learned so much just from what you shared today as well, you know, because I'm brand new to this. I know you've kind of, you know,
I've dabbled
into it a little bit, you know, but, you know, I've definitely learned so much more about it right now, and I'm sure all of our viewers as well have. But as Sheena said, if you don't do anything with it, there's really no point. And when you get involved in our community, you can really, you know, really enhance the power of what Periscope and so many other platforms and things that you'll learn about when you get inside and hit that button below. So thank you again, Sheena, for sharing. We're really looking forward to your journey with Periscope and, you know, how big you're going to build it. It's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, I think. You're going to build this massive viral sustainability. So it's going to be really cool to see that.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for coming out, Sheena.
Thanks for having me.
Always.
Yeah. We'll see everybody same time, same place next week. Hit that button below. Get started. We'll see you soon.